So episode 2 has finally arrived, and this has been one of my most anticipated episodes of the week. Episode 1 just left me breathless. I thought it was a fantastic episode. And episode 2 does a really good job at showcasing our antagonist, who is probably going to be the antagonist for the overall season, and I think his name was Hero. This guy has an appetite for destruction. I mean, they do a really good job at kind of highlighting his mentality before he was kind of implemented with this robotic technology, similar to our main character when that UFO came crashing down and they both kind of got supernatural abilities from it. Where our main character, this old man, kind of understands that he should be helping people, we have this young teenager who is the exact opposite, where he's kind of getting a thrill for just hurting other people. And I thought they did a really good job at showcasing kind of where he was in the early stages of his life, and how it kind of worked up to just having this power. Because when you're given a mass amount of power, not everyone's going to become Spider-Man if they got superpowers tomorrow. A lot of people might use it for their own self-interest. And there's a lot of kind of twisted kids out there that if they were given some very sick abilities, they might use it for sick purposes. And this is just amplified to the extreme. And one of the things I really like with this episode is when they're highlighting his mentality of when he was in school there, and they're kind of talking about like how, you know, I'm not going to care unless it's families or friends. I mean, I'll probably care more about a death in a manga or anime than I would about a random person dying. And there's nothing really that wrong with that mentality, but you can slowly see how it builds in his life to then getting this supernatural ability where he can seemingly do anything. He holds the power of life in one palm and the power of death in the other, and he essentially decides, I don't care about any of these people, so let's see what I can do. And you can slowly see what he's doing throughout this episode, where he's starting to put people in this position of like, beg for your life, I'm just gonna kill you for the sake of it, killing the mother, cooking dinner, going into the bathroom where literally the father is, you know, having a bath with his son. It was hard to watch that scene, and I think this is one of this series' like greatest strengths, is how it puts very uncomfortable situations in just very sick and real ways, like literally the father begging for his son's life and this guy just saying no, he's gonna die too, shoots him in the head, and the son drowning from the father. Like, that has to be one of the most brutal deaths I've seen in anime, because of how you got the parental love there, but this was just sick and twisted. But I think if you're going to have two characters with more or less the same abilities or very similar abilities, one of which is going to be a superhero and the other is going to be a supervillain, I think the way they're doing this is they're making the villain despicable and you want to take out this antagonist. And obviously, like, I don't think this guy's going to go out. I think he's going to be the overarching kind of person that our main character is going to fight against, because if he was to just be able to take him out next week or the week after, that'd be a little underwhelming when you have such a, you know, a very cool series with a cool premise. And of course, there's going to be those kind of episodes where you just help random people. But I'd like to see this show go the route of having him be the overarching, be the Dr. Octopus for this season for this guy here kind of a thing. And I really liked what they did. It was sick and twisted, and you also got that pain when our main character got in there saying like he couldn't save people, but then seeing the person who did it, it's going to be a really cool showdown next week. But I have to say, if there's something this anime does remarkably well, is it gets the pain down perfectly. Last week when you saw those kids like kind of like trying to kill a homeless man, which has happened in the real world. Like, there are people who literally just set people on fire. Someone in the comment section who was mentioning in their country that this actually happened, like, people just set people on fire just for the hell of it, and I've heard similar stories in the US. Within this episode, really getting that sick, murderous vibe down and making you feel for this family, because there are murderers who just kill for the thrill of it, and you can really see how sick and twisted he is, but at the same time you can tell in his own sick mind what he's doing isn't wrong, and he thinks, you know, I'm gonna help my friend because his friend is getting bullied, so I'm gonna kill his bullies, but I'm also just gonna destroy the town and city that I'm in just for the hell of it. You know, anyone with a conscience and a soul would know what he's doing is horrible, but you can tell in his own mind, he thinks he's not doing anything wrong, and this is a great antagonist for this season. A despicable one, but a great one nonetheless. I thought visually it looked on point as well, like they did implement some 3D as well, but it just feels like they're meshing the 2D and 3D quite well, with the voice acting really just taking the spotlight in this episode. I think that father kind of begging for his son's life, emotional and powerful. This series is just amazing, and I'm dying to see where this is going to go. I mean, just next week can't come soon enough. But let me know your thoughts. What did you think of episode 2, and how excited are you for episode 3? Let me know your thoughts, and before you leave, smack that like button, share your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.